Hello people of the internet, my name is JD Shadow and this is hopefully going to be a quick video. Well, quick as far as I'm concerned if you've ever seen my videos. So anyway, we are deep in the bowels of this whole Activision Blizzard scandal, and every time I look, it seems like every single hour of a day, I look and there's a new story of something I have yet to hear about, that the claims about cameras in toilets or the misogyny tax that were never in the initial lawsuit, and just further infuriates me and infuriates anybody with a degree of common sense. But above all of this is the issue that Jason Schreier, former member of Kotaku, now a member of Bloomberg, and for this purpose of this video, a user of ResetEra. You all know this site by now. These are the people that if you are not going hand in hand with them exactly word for word, they are going to ban you and give you an essay-length reason as to why they have, and pull a rule they just made up out of the blue. And guess what somebody decided to try to do with ResetEra? To signal boost the idea that Jason Schreier knew about the Activision Blizzard scandal for years before he decided to report on it. Now, we had done a previous video on this, and you guys probably know what I feel about this. I feel like Jason Schreier definitely knew what was going on, and he was definitely trying to cover for Activision Blizzard. He was going to try to bury the lead, bury the story, because he was too afraid that Activision Blizzard was going to blacklist him, because they have done so in the past to people who got way too close to this story, as we have covered many times on this channel by now. And Activision Blizzard is known to still try to dance and weave and dodge a way out of this. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to settle. They might not be willing. The plaintiffs may not be willing to settle. They may be wanting to throw the book at these people. And the more I'm hearing about this, the more I feel like maybe they are going to see that as being warranted. They're not going to settle for just a settlement. They're going to want to throw the book at these people to make an example out of them. Acti Blizz are going to want to make this go away, and the plaintiff's going to say, nope, we're not going to make it go away. We're going to make you the example. We're going to make you people that sets the precedent for future cases like this, and this is going to be a watershed moment. This is going to be a landmark moment, because it's going to force the issue of unionization, as we are now seeing now, and thank God. However, for the purposes of this video, ResetEra has decided that they're instead going to protect the enabler. They're going to protect one of their own. They can't be bothered to actually have a spine about this, to actually entertain the idea that maybe he knew about it and he didn't try to bury it because he was too afraid of jeopardizing the investigation, because he knew it well before the investigation took place. He was trying to bury the lead because he had friends within the system there, and the email he thought was proof actually made it worse, because who is he contacting in the California DFEH in order to get information? Who is his contacts there? Why is he even emailing them? Is he trying to jeopardize the investigation himself? Plus, he never did that with any of these other kinds of cases, with the Talamalka case, with any other case. So why is it now he suddenly cares about jeopardizing a case, especially when it is the work of a journalist that might make an investigation deemed necessary? Now, you might say that this person who is on ResetEra might be a little bit more tactful in the method, but knowing ResetEra might have not mattered, because here's your reason: signal boosting conspiracy theories from a hate movement attacking a journalist and fellow member. They're not even hiding the fact that Jason Schreier is a member of ResetEra. Check your sources before making a thread about something this serious. Let's be quite honest, he posts the tweets that post Jason Schreier actually showing the proof that he knew before the DFEH went with their investigation. Jason Schreier was not even trying to be vague about it, and he thought that the proof exonerated him. It does not, it just makes it worse for him. Yet here is ResetEra banning someone for a month. For a month. Think about that. This is a month-long ban because this guy dared to try to break through the ResetEra bubble. And ResetEra isn't even coy about it. They're not even shy about it. And they're calling something a hate movement when in reality what is happening is the majority of people who are calling out ActBliz and Jason Schreier have not ever heard of that quote-unquote movement before. They have not even heard of it. They're just seeing that Jason Schreier is lying through his teeth right now. And Jason Schreier is a little bit scared and a little bit worried that perhaps he got caught here and he doesn't know how to talk his way out of it. So the best thing that he thinks he can do is to block people who dare to call him out, smear him in McCarthy-like labeling, and to now get ResetEra to fight for him. And you know they're going to, because no matter how bad you act, if you are on their side politically, they will protect you to the death. Because ResetEra is in it with them. They are just as corrupt as Jason Schreier, as Jim Sterling, as Zoe Quinn, as Activision Blizzard, as any of these other people who we keep talking about, who blame gamers and use these smears in order to shut people up about their misdeeds. They're using the very real threat of trolls and vitriolic harassing people in order to shut everybody else up, in order to shut the conversation down about these corrupt Neanderthals who make it bad, make it worse for everybody else who wants a fair and honest video gaming industry. And they're doing it unabashedly. It's not like it's any secret here. They told you that Jason Schreier is one of their own. They're saying attacking a journalist. They're calling him out on his lies, on his apparent lies, and his apparent enabling of what happened at Activision Blizzard that happened well before this McCarthy-like smear came about, because they wanted to shut down conversations about nepotism and lack of transparency and made a self-fulfilling prophecy become true. And then they try to cover their own behinds when it is apparent that they did nothing. They didn't even bat an eye. They turned a blind eye to this very real situation of harassment and assault and misogyny in this workplace where 900 people got laid off some time ago and they couldn't bat an eye, where just a few years ago somebody said free Hong Kong and this very company decided they are going to ban those people from any further esports activities. And then when the mainstream corporate media couldn't avoid it anymore, they tried to blame the very people who first called it out. Because God forbid somebody on YouTube gets it right. God forbid somebody who is not ResetEra and not some of the corporate mainstay media gets it right. This has nothing to do with whatever boogeyman ResetEra wants to conjure up or whatever boogeyman Jason Schreier wants to conjure up. They have to take responsibility. They have to be accountable for what they're doing here. Just admit that they were wrong here. Just admit that Jason Schreier did not have all the facts, or admit that perhaps one of your own was not thinking clearly or did not report something when they should have, or might be in bed with the very people who are committing these acts now. And he might know something which we might need to be told about. Because if we're going to keep hearing all these stories at a rate of maybe once per hour, new stories keep coming up, maybe as we speak right now, they might be something new that comes down the pipeline, which we have no idea was even going on because it wasn't in the suit. And it's going to a point where I'm wondering if there's going to be something coming down the pipeline which might involve a criminal investigation at this rate. It's coming at a rapid pace. It's like it's a torrent that Activision Blizzard can't seem to stop the bleeding for. Just take accountability here. If Jason Schreier knew about this long before, then stop protecting him. Call him out. Don't harass him, but call him out. That's not being a hateful person. That's not joining a hate movement. That's not a conspiracy theory. It's a suspicion. It's a suspicion, and we want some answers. We need some answers. But right in the moment, we're not getting them. All we're getting is the suspicion that he is in this with Activision Blizzard, and it's being enforced by his continuing to block and to scrub clean any replies to any of his tweets that say that he might have some knowledge, or he might have been sitting on this story and he's not taking responsibility for that. And I can understand if you didn't want to jeopardize an investigation that was ongoing, but not only did you not say that, Jason, but you were sitting on stuff that was going on well before this investigation was even taking place. And you're worried, oh, you're gonna have all your ducks in a row because you're worried about the wrong story getting out. You didn't care about that before. ResetEra, he didn't care about that before. Why is he suddenly caring now? He didn't care about that when Talamalka was going through all that stuff and all the administrators exit stage left from NeoGAF and formed this very same site right now. And he didn't waste any time on any of those other allegations, including the Angry Joe one that was kind of disputed by Angry Joe, and it was more of a he said, she said thing. He didn't really wait to come out with that. So why is it now that he's being quote unquote careful? I don't buy that for a second. I do not buy that for a second. And the idea that the email that he showed, which by the way, I would like to see if they responded to that or if he was responding to something or how they responded. If you think that's proof that it's worse than what he's saying it is. Because now I want to know who he was talking to. Because why is he even talking to someone who's actively investigating the claims or actively investigating something like this? Is he trying to hamper the investigation at that point? Is he the one that's trying to silence the investigation? Because if that's the case, then he's an accessory. He's really getting caught here. Something is definitely not right here. And it would really help if ResetEra was on the side of gamers, but obviously they're not. And they can't be told that they are doing something wrong because they purged everybody who would tell them that, who would burst through that bubble. The proof is right here. You're looking right at the proof that they don't care about gamers. They don't care about that. They just care about protecting their own corporate interests. Jason Schreier posts on ResetEra regularly. If they were to take him off of ResetEra, 3/4 of their quote-unquote leaks would never get posted on ResetEra because he's the source of half of them. And he isn't even doing a good job at that anymore. So please, spare me the whole, we want to protect the people here, Jason. That you are trying to stop conspiracy theories, ResetEra. We all know what you're doing. We all know exactly what you're trying to pull here. Stop with this. It's not helping you. Please just come clean. Just admit that you screwed up here. Either that or get out of the way for an investigation on you, because quite frankly, I have a feeling you might be an accessory. You might be an enabler, Jason. This is getting absolutely ridiculous that you won't stop. The proof is not in your email. That just makes it worse. The proof that you might be an accessory is you continuing to avoid this question. And we have further proof that ResetEra is super toxic and cannot be trusted here to be for the gamers, because if they were, they would actively try to investigate whether Jason Schreier had anything to do with trying to bury this story. But they're obviously trying to protect their own because they know that they have corporate interests that align with each other, and they will stop at nothing to make sure that no one dares to expose that. Thank you for watching. My name is JD Shadow. That just happened.